Trying to see here comparing Brightline to Miami. And the fact we've been driving down to Miami for Miami Hurricane football games for 19 years. Which is the best way to get there or the most cost efficient? Where the Brightline train or individual Uber driving to Miami, it better depends on your individual needs and preferences. Here are some comparisons of the two. Pros for the Brightline train. It's faster. Brightline train is significantly faster than driving, especially during rush hours. The train ride from Miami to Orlando takes approximately 2 hours and 30 minutes, while driving takes 4 hours or more. Brightline is more convenient. The Brightline train is also more convenient than driving. You don't have to worry about traffic, parking, or tolls. You also relax and enjoy the ride while someone else does the driving. It's more sustainable. Brightline train is a more sustainable transportation option than driving. It produces significantly less emissions. Cons to the Brightline train. It's more expensive. The Brightline train is more expensive than driving, especially if you are traveling with a group. And there are fewer routes. Brightline train currently only operates between Miami and Orlando, with stops in West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Aventura, and soon Cocoa. If you are traveling to other parts of Florida, you will need to drive or take another form of transportation. Okay, advantages of individual driving. More flexible. Driving gives you more flexibility in terms of schedule and route. You can stop and go wherever you want and whenever you want. It's more affordable to drive. Driving is generally more affordable than taking the Brightline train, especially if you are traveling with a group. Driving is more accessible than the Brightline train. The Brightline train only operates in certain areas of Florida, while you can drive anywhere in the state you want to. Cons of driving. Driving is slower than taking the Brightline train, especially during rush hour. Driving can be less convenient than taking the Brightline train. You have to worry about traffic, parking, and tolls, and you also have to do all the driving yourself, which can be tiring. Driving is a less sustainable transportation option than taking the Brightline. It produces significantly more emissions. Overall, Brightline train is faster, more convenient, and more sustainable transportation than driving to Miami. However, it is also more expensive and less accessible. Driving is a more affordable and flexible option, but is also slower, less convenient, and less sustainable. Which option is better for you depends on your individual needs and preferences. Consider your budget, your schedule, and your travel plans for making this decision. So the way we analyze this is we live in Orlando, Florida. We live in Oviedo, but Orlando, Florida. We drive to the Orlando airport, we park our car, pay the fees for however long it is, get on the train, take the train to Miami, make all these stops along the way. And I don't know if you remember the old days of riding a bus, but if you took a Trailways bus from the Florida Keys to Atlanta, Georgia, it took you 25 hours. So you stopped at every little nick and hole in the wall. Well, this so far is only stopping in 4 places, so we'll see how that goes. Once you get on the other end of Miami, now you're in the Miami Brightline terminal. What do? You have to call an Uber. You have to call Lyft. You have to get a cab. You have to rent a car. It just turns into a pain in the ass. HarryCopeland7@gmail.com. Harry Copeland 321-295-1420. Thank you.